Today we are going to work on hills, or rather a road layout on hills, which as we all know is hell. I've got some mods to make it easier, so if you wanna see my way of doing things, hello, have a seat, relax and enjoy. First off, I choose the road type I want to use. I can swap it out later, but I like to start with the right width from the beginning. I want some parts of my network to be straight so I can place larger apartments near it more easily, make parking and so on. So I lay down those straight segments first and use the network multi-tool mod. It has a curve road too to connect them for better angles than if I did it manually. I'm gonna be using this mod a lot. It doesn't always snap perfectly at first. This mod also has an option to create parallel roads, which makes new roads part of the same network instead of just randomly drawn on the map out of the shape. And the ends still need trimming though. I'm not aiming for perfectly parallel roads like with highways. I just want to follow similar patterns, similar curves and angles. Here is a small entry roundabout. The traffic here won't be heavy, so I went with a smaller one. It blends in nicely and it's also way easier to build on a hill than if you were to pick a big one, which would be a little bit curved, a little bit steep. Another tool I use is the sloping tool from Network Multi-Tool. I don't love it because sometimes it flattens everything, but in theory it's supposed to create smoother slopes, more realistic slope across the selected road, so it won't have like a crazy steep angle. But like I said, sometimes it flattens everything and I'm not loving it. There's also option to use move it. It also has the slope option, but it doesn't show you the numbers, and the numbers it shows are colored, so you know that if you have red or even orange, it's a bit too steep and unrealistic. But it's of course hilly network, so there is going to be some slopes. It won't be perfectly flat. I repeat this process for another pieces of land. I follow the coast and connect the roads using just the connect tool. And some edges turn out a bit sharp, so I manually tweak them with move it or just delete a node to get a smoother look. It then blends nicely. And some parts I connect manually just using a normal vanilla road tool. It also really helps to have Network Anarchy mode on, and it has few options. I spoke about it in my other mod related videos, but in this case it lets you override the game trying to force a tunnel or bridge when you just want the road to stay on the ground. Like in this case it wanted to force a tunnel and I just wanted it to ground, to have normal like ground level road. I check almost every single node and intersection to slope it properly and avoid that chunky, blocky look. I zoom in and out to keep everything smooth, and sorry for the jumpy camera, I had to check everything from different angles. And that's basically all I was doing, just trying to make it look neat. And so now it's time to landscape or terraform. And yeah, this is definitely not a vanilla friendly video if you haven't guessed already, because even for terraforming I use a mod, which is extra landscaping tool, a bit old but still work fine. And I use it mostly to even things out, mostly along the roads where the house will be. I leave some rough edges like cliffs on purpose. For precision, I use smaller brush and work carefully where the buildings will go. Depending, the look of cliffs really depends on what map team you have. I use the Owls Los Angeles one, as far as I remember, and it really, depends on how nice it will look. And as you can see from the leftover dirt road, I had a rough vision of where I wanted the layout to go, so now I just follow the path. We've finally reached the other side of the island where I built a bigger neighborhood, this time for single houses, so it can be more curvy and organic since the lots will be way smaller and we don't need to have like a parking lots and stuff and more open flat area. And I added here another small entry roundabout. I'm not too obsessed with following the existing greenery, even though that's kind of a golden rule for building on hills to make it more organic. But I don't do it because I will add and delete vegetation however I like later. I cut some of the more repetitive footage to keep it from dragging on. I did this section mostly manually. After brushing everything out, I deleted some extra greenery around the roads, and now it's time for a bit of decoring to hide junky spots and make things feel more 2D, I would say. I added some rocks to complement the cliffs, and I use the same models I use throughout the map to make it more cohesive and make the cliffs look more realistic, and fill in random greenery like again, greenery I use throughout the map. and every now and then I added some fencing. As you can see, these are just plain vanilla fences from the park, or I think Industry DLC. I think it's the forestry fence or farm fence. You can actually use it with Network Multi-Tool too, so just as you were to draw on a road, it works as any road, I mean the fence. So I draw the parallel line. If the ends looked weird, I just fixed them with Move It or added some greenery rocks at the end. They seem to be kind of random, but I mostly place them along cliffs to, I don't know, like mimic the collection of falling rocks or something like this. That's how I imagine it, at least, or prevent people at the turning points from crashing into the sea, whatever. I actually gave myself a day off, so of course I came back with fresh eyes and immediately found things to fix and change. So this is a pretty close-up workflow from start to finish, and yeah, enjoy this little time lapse. Here I want to add a bit more interest with a bridge to break up the road types. I kind of miss not adding a tunnel though anywhere, maybe that's something for the future. This is an extra road along the coast. I just thought it would look lovely, so I added it at the very end. And also I remember I had some pre-made rock sets, I will call it that way, that I used on the other side of the map in the lake area. It already has nice reeds and selected greenery, coastal greenery I would say, so I went ahead and just copied those in and mixed it with the grey rocks. I'm not loving the contrast between the beige brown rocks and the grey ones, but it's not that bad. If that bugs me a lot, I will change it. And yeah, that's the final result, I guess. You also get a sneak peek of the neighborhood I already finished, so you will see what you can expect. So if you enjoyed, sub so you don't miss the next episode. You can check out my mods playlist in meantime. See you in the next one. Bye!